All right, hello, everybody. Yo,
Hey
Super Smash Brothers Melee.
My bad. I was drinking this Pepsi.
Oh, nah, it's all right. We're back, everybody. Hello, everyone. How's it going? My name is Justin.
Ain't no way he screwed it up early.
We were hearing him in the waiting room. He would say, like, yeah, I know, like, jeans take the longest to dry.
That's because my wife is talking to me at the exact same time.
You had to do it, say Mark.
I'm sorry, I'm paying attention to my wife.
I know. How could you do that when we're in the middle of the
dude,
podcast?
Come on, dog.
You disappointed me.
Feels like, don't you know I always neglect Cat.
That's broless behavior, dude. Come on.
Broless behavior. You gotta step it up.
No, I don't ignore my wife, you ass. First of all, hi, Philip. And no, I don't ignore my wife. I literally tell her, hey, I got a podcast right now. I love you. I'm going to be in here.
As you should.
And you're watching or listening to episode 490 of DangIT Prodcast, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Seems like a usual podcast, but for me, it was like, I was gone, actually.
Yeah,
not for a full week, though, but like, I guess technically 3 days, maybe like more or less like 4 if you count the actual hours, but yeah, I was on vacation. It was nice.
I'm pretty sure you're gonna go into that on Monday, right, in a stream. But how was it overall?
Everything was good. I told you guys before, went on a cruise to Ensenada. We would also like tie that in with a trip to Catalina as well. And as far as like actual activities, didn't do a lot. It was just mainly just like walking around, checking the sites, getting some photos here, some videos here and there. But yeah, it was just a nice like getaway, like physically from everything. So it's very nice.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up. Is Catalina part of the Ensenada like cruise? Like,
yeah. It's like
nice.
Like day one, like we just make it to Catalina, and then like day 2 is like Ensenada, and like day 3 is like we're just gonna spend the entire day just like out and sea, and then we return to port the following morning.
Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah! I'm glad you had fun, dog.
I know that you were curious about like trying it out for yourself too, but I would definitely recommend it as a getaway.
Oh yeah. I'm planning on it maybe next year in 2025. This year it's too much. Lot of things going on.
100%, yeah.
But yeah, next year for sure.
I'd be down to do another one of those, but it is costly, so you definitely just want to like save.
Yeah, the only cruise I've been on is the one for my honeymoon, and that was a week. That one is actually from Saturday to Saturday. Yeah, that one cost a good amount, but it was worth it. Like dinner every night. Free meals every day essentially, and then just like getting to go to 3 different places in Mexico because we did the cruise that was like Puerto Vallarta, Mazatlan, and then Cabo San Lucas. So that was fun.
Cool. But yeah, now we're back. And there was a lot of stuff that happened this past week as well, and I was just trying to catch up on everything. I'll definitely be relying on you, Phil, for some pointers, as well as Mark for like a lot of the input as well, especially since we got a very interesting one here that happened this past week.
we got I like to call it the Mark special.
The Mark special.
Me special.
Oh, that's me.
That's me.
Yep, that's me. He gazed.
No, not That's So Raven.
Go Ray.
Dude, I was streaming another Code Recollection last night.
I thought you were gonna say I was streaming That's a Raven.
well, hold on. I was streaming that, and my chat and I had the running joke, like the character D, the ghost. Every time he started remembering something, we were like, "Oh my god, he's having a That's So Raven moment."
He's having a vision.
Yeah. And we were like, "Oh no."
so funny.
Lordy. But I think if we're gonna talk a lot of the Xbox developer direct, I think Mark,
Mm-hmm.
do you want to talk about Palworld first? Because I don't know what to say about it. I just
Imagine Pokemon meets Ark.
meets what?
Pokemon meets Ark.
Arc, yeah, okay.
Ark.
Survival evolved.
Yeah. Hmm.
And you've been playing for a hot minute, right, Mark?
Yeah, been 2 days. I played it mostly all day yesterday.
Damn.
Nice.
But what do you think about it?
I like it.
It's good.
All right.
All I know is that it's blowing up. We're already at 2 million players in less than 48 hours, essentially.
And I've just heard a lot of bad things on Twitter. Go figure, you know?
Basically, but
Yeah, it's definitely like a mixed bag of like hearing like or seeing like positive things, but also hearing like the loudest community about it in the negative sense.
I just don't know if like is people taking that game actually seriously, or is it like because it's the meme, right?
It's from what I've been understanding, it's both memes, but also like AI's involved, possibly, but that's not absolutely confirmed. Because here's a quick little history about it. The developers are Pocket Pair. They made Craftopia in 2020, but they've also created
what the hell is Craftopia?
it's the like shameless like Breath of the Wild clone. Almost. That's my words putting into it.
Oh my god, I do know of this.
But what's been brought up as well as far as the argument of like, is this like straight up plagiarism? Is the like, and is there like AI like involved in like creating like some of the characters and some of the like stuff like for the game? They made another game called AI: Art Imposter, where I believe the idea is just to point out like what is like the piece of AI art. So like, it's caused quite a bit of discourse as to like, one, is it like how unique is this game, and like how many resources were created just through AI and whatnot. There's no like, from what I understand, there's no real concrete information as to whether or not they've done that for Palworld, but that is something that just is now out there, just in the ether. So people are free to just kind of like hang on to that piece of information and do whatever they please with it.
Well, like I'm only talking about it in a casual sense because again, I haven't played it. I was meaning to download it. I was gonna download it last night, but then I kind of started playing Call of Duty with the boys. So I'm not gonna lie, I got on and everyone would just started sending me invites, and I was like, damn, that was fast. This is like right after stream, so I didn't go to bed till like 2:30.
Oh my god!
But
yeah, otherwise
I was meaning to download it.
Yeah, I haven't actually tried it out myself. I kind of want to, but also like because of like the negative stigma that's already been placed on it now, it's kind of giving me like a bit of hesitation as to whether I want to actually play it and or make.
Of what?
Well, just like, you know, is it just straight up like shameless copying Pokemon? And
No, not really.
Like, is there AI? And so, like, that's all that stuff that's just like popping up in my head. Like, that's kind of preventing me from actually like playing it. Like, do I want to play, therefore support folks that are like utilizing this kind of stuff when this could have been like developed by people? But I don't even know. That's the problem. Like,
I mean, it's not like, what's like, honestly, when you say that, that just makes me think, well, what difference is there between this and any other monster collecting game ever?
That was an argument too. Pokemon? Someone's like pointing out stuff from like not Monster Hunter. It was a Dragon Quest monster, not Monster Crown. But yeah, I guess so. That too.
Well, it's not only that. But you know how many different monster collecting games there've been?
Yeah. Like, I don't think for me personally, it's I don't care if it's a blatant clone. It's how well is it done.
That's true.
And it's very different from Pokemon.
Right. So I'm just kind of like mixed up because like I don't know like what I think about like approaching like Palworld, because like, yeah, then like my brain just goes to all the discourse of like, what about these other monster collecting games too? Like, where's like there's a gray area there now. So I TLDR, I don't know how I feel. I got mixed feelings all across, so I just don't know.
It visually looks really cool.
That's true.
It's a lot of
It
fun.
visually looks really cool. But Mark, yeah, like you're the only one that's played it, so like I'm depending on you to like how do you really feel about it other than it's fun? Like
I like it personally. I think it's an interesting take on the monster like collecting genre. I mean, especially because it's like it quite literally is just like Ark in terms of you can catch them, or you can just use them for parts and eat them.
huh?
Oh wow, they are like
I didn't know that part.
not only you can shoot them, you can beat the hell out of them, but you can also just like mincemeat them.
No,
And eat
you
them.
can be friends, obviously, but there's also like they're also the animals of the world, so naturally you do have to use them as resources as well.
That's an interesting take. I wasn't expecting you to eat them. I'm not gonna lie to you.
What's the game rating on this, by the way?
I don't think it's M.
It's not.
It's not. Yeah.
Whoa. That's all right.
It's I think it's T, isn't it? Yeah, because there's guns, so I don't think they can get away with E10.
That'd be wild if they could.
But I also hear there's a little bit of Minecraft in there. Is that correct?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Oh, interesting.
My a old friend of mine messaged me, was like, "Hey, are you playing Palworld or what?" And I'm like, "Damn, even you know about this game?" Like,
That's crazy.
so I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to try it.
Yeah, I think it really is just one of those things where
at
like,
least trying it.
yeah, just try. It's on Game Pass, so like we all have the opportunity to try it out. It's also like
Game Pass Live.
if you want to like actually buy it, then it's also pretty cheap. It's not like a full like fledged $60 or $70 game. So
It is an online always game though.
oh yeah, okay.
It does require to be on servers. Just an FYI out
Just
there.
an FYI.
There's another game we're gonna talk about today that's having a big like deal about it being digital only.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people are not happy. I have an interesting take on it, but yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it. It's definitely a big one.
All right.
But do you want to do pickups? Because I feel like the Xbox Direct, we're just gonna go all in on that.
Oh, you're right. You know what? Fair enough. And you got quite the library to make this like quite a big segment too.
I have some things to talk about other like I have more things to say about other games in here than others. Like I can breeze through most of these.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I
want to go first.
Yeah, I got two of them. I don't know if you want to overlap like one of them. You know the one?
Yeah, I do know the one. I was gonna leave that for last, but you can just go ahead and do it first.
Oh, okay. We'll just do like kind of separately on this one. Alrighty, guys. Let me see if this is actually all working. Cool. So, first pickup. Actually, these were like pickups I just did yesterday because I was gone the entire week. I mean, just saw a flash of it. But we got Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. We have it on the Switch.
Let's go.
Because we ain't trying to do that Ubisoft Connect bit.
That's the DRM free one.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is a for those who are not like well known into like the Prince of Persia stuff, I'm not either. So this is definitely a way just kind of into that series. But it pretty much just takes a lot of the elements of Prince of Persia and makes it into a 2D Metroidvania, which is perfect because on my cruise trip, I actually took one of those Metroidvania games that I've been playing after Image and just been like cranking in the hours for that one. So
hell yeah. I was just about to ask, what have you been playing?
Yeah, my after Image era has begun or resumed. So I'm just like,
hell yeah.
I'm full into the Metroidvania like genre right now. But yeah, this one I'm definitely looking forward to. And considering that what was the last Prince of Persia game? You know?
Oh God. The last one I remember, if I'm not mistaken, is Forgotten Sands. And that was PS3, 360, Wii era.
Oh wow.
I believe so. I'm gonna fact check myself, but
Because
I'm
the last
pretty
one,
sure.
the last one I've heard of or remember was the very
The
colorful.
reboot?
Yeah, kind of like the reboot, the one where like he has like red and blue like scarves to create like a really
Yeah,
cool, colorful aesthetic.
the Nolan North one. That's the
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was the last one I
that
remember. But they've had roots all the way back to like PlayStation 2. So
you're
even further,
actually longer than that. But
longer than
yes.
that. Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, Prince of Persia is an old series. When actually it's really funny when you said that they took what Prince of Persia is and put it into 2D. I actually believe that the Metroidvania aspect is kind of a callback to its original first game, the Prince of Persia, created by Jordan Mechner, who, real quick, if you haven't seen the making of or played the making of Karateka, that's Jordan Mechner's game before he made Prince of Persia. So they kind of all ties in together. Yeah, it's an old PC game. It's one of those PC games though, like
Hmm.
it's one of those 2D games where it's Metroidvania, but it's a cinematic platformer. So like it's kind of janky when you do the jump animations and stuff.
Yeah, the
Yeah, it's one
cinematic
of
platform.
those.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
Yeah. I think it goes like that one. Then there's a sequel, Prince of Persia 2, and then that's a jump to 3D, which is not good. It's not a good game.
Mm.
It's an interesting game. I'd like to play it one day on my Dreamcast, but it is not. It's not that good.
Mm.
But then Ubisoft gets a hold of the license,
Mm.
and that's when they create the phenomenal and quite frankly classic Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, which is that's a certified hood classic game right there.
Wow. Okay.
That game is incredible. And then that creates a trilogy of games: The Warrior Within, The Two Towers,
Hmm.
The Two Thrones. Sorry, Two Thrones. Yeah. And then in 2008 was the remake, the Nolan North reboot. It's
Gotcha.
just you can just hear Nathan Drake
It's
whenever he
just.
talks. It's super funny. But that game's good. That game is good. It's not as good as the other three, but it is good.
Hmm. I really
And
like
then
the aesthetics
Forgotten
on that one,
Sands.
but
Then
go
there was
ahead.
the game Forgotten Sands, which is all right. Stop. Again, there really isn't a bad Prince of Persia game if you don't take the original 3 games into consideration.
Mm.
And I don't even think those are bad. Those are just not aged as well, but they're important for video game history.
Yeah.
So, but Forgotten Sands is cool. I recommend you check out both. One of the HD versions. It doesn't matter if it's PS3 or 360.
Hmm.
And the Wii version, because the Wii version is different. It is a different layout of game.
Interesting. Well, I guess that's part of the era where like Wii was doing its own thing. They were developing
Yeah,
different like types of like games with the same title for Wii.
If I'm not mistaken, you can actually unlock the original Prince of Persia in the Wii version. It's interesting.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Sorry, I thought you were like chaining back to Lost Crown, but I was like, oh, okay.
But,
I missed the pre-order. No.
no. But yeah, Lost Crown's kind of a throwback to 2D Prince of Persia, which hasn't been done in forever.
Gotcha.
And you know what? That's an interesting way to do it because Prince of Persia hasn't been seen in years. So, and from what I heard, and like we said last week, the reviews are stellar for this game. I'm talking like 9s and 10s across the board, baby. Like
That's crazy.
this game is, people are saying it might be better than Metroid Dread. And
Whoa! Wait a minute.
playing the demo, I might be inclined to agree. I'm not sure yet. I'd have to actually play the game like fully.
Man, dude, yeah. Then in that case, I'm like very much so looking forward to it because we talked about the Switch version actually will dedicate itself to like 60 frames, which is I mean for a platformer, I'm not sure. Like I think you could get away with like some like lower frame rates for like platforms and whatnot, but if the option is on Switch and they devoted towards that, then I got more props to like developers just to make sure that happens and keeps it that way.
It's smooth for sure.
Okay. All right. And
It's
then
smooth for sure, but I think cutscenes might drop here and there.
well, like, is it not like fully 60 or are they like devoting to like a cinematic 24 or something like that?
Yeah, they're basically just kind of devoting the lower frame rates to cinematics, but gameplay it doesn't drop
I could totally
like
take
at
that.
all. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, I have like high hopes for this one because it really is like a return to form, or like just a return of a franchise, like pop it in again,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden it's just like winning like high scores and like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, especially since I've been playing like a Metroidvania. Quick aside, dude, After Image is crazy. Like I never realized how large that game really was. It's a crazy large Metroidvania. I'll probably talk to you a little
Hell
bit more
yeah.
about it, Phil. But yeah, looking forward to Prince of Persia when I have the opportunity. I did promise I would play through like all like games released like within the year it's released. So I'm hoping to like target that one very soon, as well as this next one that I got going on here. We
Oh
have
man.
here. Phil's been talking about this one, and it's definitely kept it within my radar because of that. We have another code recollection right here. First and foremost, this box art's incredible. Like if you look at, obviously, like you see like a little bit of like a transparency or at least a transition towards like different photos that indicate like exactly what's going on for the main character. But Phil will talk a little bit more in detail, but I'll kind of give you guys a summary. This is a game that had previous iterations done for it in the form of Trace Memory here in the West. Had a different name like everywhere else, and then they also had like a Wii like sequel that wasn't actually released in the West. So this is our opportunity to actually try out like both of them in one package game. So it's definitely a different type of genre for me. And honestly, I was going to just kind of give it the pass. I was like, you know, the devoted people are going to just like play it and they'll enjoy it. And for me, it would just be like, it's not for me. But you know what? Considering the fact that like this could possibly be one of those games where like it may still be within that niche audience, we may not even see this one have like that many like copies sold, or rather, it might be like already taken up because of the rarity of it. That I was like, okay, let's give it a try. So I'll definitely try this one out too.
I'm very happy you gave another code support. That game. Ooh, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I have my things with it. I've noticed a lot of things when I was playing it last night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did stream of it, didn't you?
Got some words for it.
I got words.
I got some things. Yeah, I streamed it. I streamed it for about a good 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
And I purposely turned off all the hints. Like I don't like all the assists. I want to play it as originally intended.
He didn't want any spoilers.
No, I know the first game. Well, I'll get to that in a minute, but yeah, I did turn off all the, because they ask you at the beginning, they're like, would you like this on, and kind of help you like point in the way you want to go and help you out with stuff. And you know, for beginners to this genre, because this genre is essentially, it's a mix of point and click visual novel, murder mystery visual novels, and puzzle games where you got to figure out the puzzle. Like they ask you to do something, and their puzzles are clever. I also noticed the puzzles are different. They're not the same. Most of them are not the same puzzles. I noticed that very quickly. But it was cool. Like, for instance, getting to the mansion, you're supposed to lower a bridge down with a wrench. Like you're supposed to find the loose part and then put it back in, and then use the DS stylus to turn the wrench around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not in this game at all. That they completely changed that entire area.
I
So
guess
it is a reimagining of the original game with a lot of the same story bits. Yeah, and apparently they've changed some of the things in the Wii game too, so it's not one for one. But I wouldn't know. We never got the game, so
someone else has to make a deep dive video about that.
Yeah, you got to go watch someone else.
Gotcha.
But I'll start with mine then. I'm gonna do my one pickup that's not Switch.
Okay, but first, Phil, I didn't know if you wanted to continue adopting the visual presentation of your face cam, but I recall last time, didn't you have a blind open?
Okay, so it's raining outside today.
Oh, so it's not super bright out.
It's, you know what, that can work, but it is not.
It's not like
much brightness today.
Oh yeah.
Let me turn off my light. That might help. There you go. Yeah.
All right.
Like it's all right. It's all right, but it's not as bright as it can be. But that's actually pretty good. So I'll keep it like that.
All right.
Yeah. It is cloudy in our area today. It is raining. I actually have to go out later today, so this is gonna be fun.
That sucks.
It'll be fine. But yeah, I'll start with my one pickup that's not a Switch game, and then the rest are Switch games. I apologize for the 8 Switch games. Look, my limited run orders came in at once. I actually have another one coming in next week. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. They're all finally shipping. But I picked up a Wii U game. I know. Weird. But I noticed that I didn't have it in my collection, and I was like, huh. I kind of want the original version because I own the Switch version of this game. But I was also like, I kind of want the original because it's technically considered like the best third-party game on the Wii U. Like it was originally a Wii U game before they started putting it on everything else. And I was in the mood for Prince of Persia when I was playing the demo, and I sat there and I was like, man, I love this studio, Ubisoft Montpellier, and I was like, I really should support it more. So I picked up the Wii U version of Rayman Legends.
Oh, okay.
Same team who made Rayman, or same team who's making Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. So, yeah, I mean, this game was originally going to be a Wii U exclusive. People still think this is one of the best versions because it has the touchscreen support. It has the touchpad where it has like the exclusive Murphy missions. That's actually on the Switch version, but you have to play it handheld. So, give or take, but yeah, I'm just kind of happy to have it complete my Rayman like 2D games.
Gotcha.
It was the only one I was missing, really. So, yeah, that's fun to have.
Wait, does that mean you have all the? Does that mean you have like all the Rayman like Legends like series at this point?
The home console versions on my Nintendo platforms, yeah, I do. I have Rayman Origins on Wii. I have Rayman Legends on Wii U, and then I have Legends Definitive Edition on Switch. So yeah.
Okay.
They never ported Origins to Switch, or I would have been all over that.
Yeah.
I wish they did. That is a game I kind of wish they'd port, but yeah. Ubisoft kind of looks at it as, well, Legends is a better game. And in some regards, yeah, but in other regards, no. They're both very different games. Different levels. But also Legends has that one world that's called Back to Origins. So like they take some of the, not all of them, but some of the origin levels, the popular ones, and they put them in Legends. So
okay.
Give or take. But yeah, and then I got a bunch of Switch games that came in. Was not expecting it. I actually had to make room on my shelf because they started to not fit. So I actually moved my big box like Switch games over to another shelf. So that one area is like big box like Switch games, and then everything else is just my normal Switch library. But let's start with, I'm gonna start from like my I don't want to say least interesting, but what I have the least to say from the top to bottom. Let's do Shadowrun Trilogy. This is a trilogy of tactical RPGs that were more popular on PC, as far as I know. I don't know much about the series. I just know that they're very I know Shadowrun 1 is a huge game. So I was just like, well, I guess I'll get it on Switch. Like, it is a limited run numbered game, so I was like, hell yeah. Sounds good to me. This next one's kind of interesting. I had to look this game up because of the name, but Enclave HD. And I was like, what the hell is Enclave? Apparently, this is originally developed by Starbreeze, if you don't know who that is. They're currently the developers who made Payday. They helped make a lot of other games like The Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay, if you've ever heard of that game. But
Chronicles of Riddick.
Yeah. They made this game back in the day, and it was an Xbox original exclusive. There was a PS2 version, but only in Europe. So this HD version is now on everything, and I'm kind of excited. It's like an action RPG, but like more in line with like Devil May Cry, I guess, like with hack and slash and whatnot. So
the time's coming, so have I.
Yeah, like this is a weird release, and I was like, I gotta look into that. Here's one that's interesting. I got Oceanhorn 2, Knights of the Lost Realm. Yeah, if you don't know what Oceanhorn is, it's a clear, blatant ripoff of Zelda, but they're well done. Like they're actually pretty well done. So Oceanhorn 1 was more of a top-down Zelda game. This is their first time doing a 3D style Zelda game, like more like Ocarina. So this was actually originally an Apple Arcade exclusive, and then they finally ported it to consoles. So I'm looking forward to playing it because I played Oceanhorn 1 and beat it, and I actually enjoyed it. So looking forward to playing this. I did play a little bit of this on Apple Arcade. So I will confirm that it is pretty good. And then this one, it's going to look weird because it's a big box, but I'm just going to pull out the game that actually got to in the order. And that is, I know, and I am the only one that's late on getting this because I bundled it with so many other things, but it's finally here. I got River City Girls 2. I know. Took so damn long. It took so damn long. It wasn't like
guy.
Yeah, I know. It wasn't Limited Run's fault. It was just I bundled it with so many other things that took long. So I got River City Girls 2, and I got the slipcase that holds all three of the games.
Ooh.
So it holds River City Girls 0, and River City Girls 2.
That's
all
cool.
together.
That's cool.
So I do have the other two in here already. But yeah, the slipcase box that holds everything. And I haven't played it yet. From my understanding, the Switch version is actually not as good as the other versions because it kind of has a little bit of frame dips here and there. But I really liked River City Girls 1. And I didn't love it. There's some things I don't really care for, but that's not the game's fault. That's just River City as a franchise. So I just give it a pass and I call it a day. But I'm really excited to play this one. This one has more playable characters. So yeah, that one's fun. Then I got this bad boy. I know I got some two friends that were like, oh my God, I need to try that. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is one of the most unnecessary retro collections to even make because none of these games in this collection are expensive or rare. They're actually stupid common, but I just on principle, I was like, yo, I gotta see this. And also it's one of Limited Run's Carbon Engine games. So I was like, okay, so it's going to be at least really good in emulation.
Okay.
And that's the Jurassic Park Classic Games collection.
Oh my God. That's actually pretty fast as far as receiving it.
Yeah, they put it up like not too long ago and they immediately are ready to go. Like I kind of personally feel like they only did this to appeal to Universal Studios because you know they helped out with Scott Pilgrim and The Mummy Demastered. So but it includes the Game Boy version of Jurassic Park 1, the NES version of Jurassic Park 1, the Super Nintendo version of Jurassic Park 1, the Sega Genesis version of Jurassic Park 1, the Sega Genesis version of Jurassic Park Rampage Edition, Jurassic Park 2 for the Game Boy, and Jurassic Park 2 for Super Nintendo. So it is a pretty hefty collection of games. I don't think any of the games scored higher than like a 7 out of 10 back in the day. So I think like the Genesis games are actually really popular, but like the Super ones, ooh, buddy. You know what? I'm willing to give it a fresh look. I haven't played one in a while, so this collection's pretty fun. It's just for shits and giggles, honestly. I thought it was going to be funny. Now, a remake of an old game that I'm looking forward to playing through because I'm a huge fan of this franchise. And when they announced it, I was like, I wonder how it's going to look. And they did it. Disney, you freaking did it. And I couldn't believe it. Gargoyles Remastered.
Oh.
This is yeah, dude. This is a remaster of the original Sega Genesis Gargoyles game. And it's considered like a hidden gem on the Sega Genesis. So just getting a version where they actually like drew it out to look like the actual like cartoon looks really cool. I'm really excited to play this. All right. I know I have another code, right? But are you ready for my favorite pickup this week? That's not another code.
That's not another code. Yes,
No,
yes.
no, I don't think you're ready. This is the game of the year for me already. This is going to be on the
Huh?
top 10 list, and I can
What do you mean?
assure you.
What do you mean by that?
Now,
Hmm.
if everybody here knows me, I love video game history. It is something like that I just love to learn and just be part of, and just really just research and do these things. And that's the reason why I love the video game, like collect video games. And this is a really important game in video game history. And it's just so wild to me that they actually remastered this game. Um, because it's considered one of the worst games of all time.
Oh no.
And
Oh
I'm talking
no.
like low. I'm talking it's bad. Like it's barely a game at all. It's considered the first American visual novel because all you do is click things, and the game doesn't even it's not even like it doesn't even have cutscenes. It's all slideshows and like bad acting. And
Oh
look, it
no.
one of my favorite movies is The Room. So if you know that, then you're gonna love Plumbers Don't Wear Ties Definitive Edition.
Oh no. No.
They did it. No, they did it. No, the limited run made this. They bought the rights to this game and remastered this game. And I had to buy this on the mere fact that I am a proud owner of one of the worst games ever made. But there is a reason why I wanted this. It wasn't just because it's a really bad game and that it's so bad it's good. It's an interesting look into why it was even made in the first place. Like there's documentaries of like how they made it, why there was things. People like YouTubers that have played it on their channel are famous for episodes like this. Like AVGN has a segment on here.
Oh my god.
Like there's a lot going into this. Like they did so much things. Original interviews with the original actress, like they went all out on this. So as a remaster, as an actual package, this is really good. This is like top tier, like gaming history stuff. It's just that the game is terrible. Like look up a review for this game and you'll know exactly what I mean. I want to play this, but I don't think I'm allowed to play this on stream. So
wait, why is that? Is it just too
it contains nudity, and on top of that, according to the box, it straight up says nudity. It doesn't say partial. So I'm assuming they left the uncensored version in game because that was a cheat code you had to put in.
Hmm?
This is originally released on the 3DO.
Man, that's crazy.
The Panasonic
What are those passwords?
3DO, baby. So I don't know if you still have to put in the password to play it, but it's here. So and it's like one of those games where like you pick your choices matter. Like your story route actually differs. And I mean like, hey, James trying to get a job. What do you do? 1, do the interview just right. 2, bribe. Or 3, like offer yourself sexually. And you're like, what the hell is going on in this game?
Wait, hold on. I think you're cooking. I think they were cooking with this game.
Like
Proper.
it is a wild time to be alive that this is a real thing in my collection, and I'm really happy to have this. I love so bad it's good games. Like we should get together and play this just on principle, just to see it, just to live out what the hell this is. And then I picked up another code.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Obviously. This is Nintendo's first big 2024 game, and it's a weird game for them to choose to remaster or remake. Because I'll be real with you, Trace Memory is such a niche series. Like Another Code in general is just a niche series.
Mm-hmm.
And the original developer's defunct. They don't exist anymore. I did find out who developed it. Arc System Works is the developer of this game.
No way, dude.
Arc System Works is the developer of Another Code. Apparently, it's because the original creator works at Arc System Works.
Oh wow! So it's like, hey, like
he got to work. He got to work on this game. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Another Code, like I said earlier, is Recollection is made up of 2 games. 2 Memories, which was the DS game, and Journey into Lost Memories, which is the Wii game. The games are visual novel slash murder mystery visual novel slash puzzle slash what did I describe it as earlier? It was visual novel meets puzzle meets
Point and
I
click?
forgot what I said.
Was it point and click?
Yeah, there it is. Point and click, like search type game. Like to the like old school PC point and click games, to the point where it's like, if you don't know where to go next or what to do next, you better keep searching around until you figure it out. That kind of thing. So it does get a little tedious. I will say, because it is a remake of the original games, it still has the pacing of the original games. So the game is a very, very slow burn. It is a slow game. It is a slow game to build up what's going on. But stick with it. Because the first game's not long. I think someone said they beat it in like 5 hours max.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. I think someone said the total package time for them was like 18 hours, maybe less. And that sounds about right for 2 games like in this style. Yeah, that's good. Because any longer, and I think the puzzles and the searching would drag on a little too long. But something I noticed immediately when I started playing it, the puzzles are different. There are some that they kept, and there are some that are very different. And Justin, when I mean puzzles, I mean I'm gonna give you the answer for one of them. But it's when you're trying to get into the doors into the mansion. It's right when chapter 1 ends. It's asking you that the doorknobs are the secret, but you're like, okay, what do I do? You can just knock them and nothing happens. Behind you, you have to talk to the ghost, and he tells you that he's remembering that every time they used to go in, they used to play hopscotch right before. And you're like, what? And you turn around and you look at the patterns on the hopscotch, like in the floor, and you have to knock in the way you hopscotch, and that's how you get in.
Oh, interesting.
It's that game where the puzzles are, you got to look into the puzzles.
Interesting.
Like for instance, like fixing a gravestone just to get a number or just to get a pattern so you can open the door. That kind of puzzle game. Also, I will say something for me is that it does lose a little bit of its charm in 3D. Because it is, like I said, the original DS game is a top-down, like touchscreen heavy game. And without the touchscreen puzzles, it does lose a little bit of its charm, in my opinion. Like I love that in the original game, it literally boots up and says, place your finger on the touchscreen to authenticate. And it's like, obviously it doesn't really do that, but you put your finger on it, and you're like, oh wow, I'm in the game. Like, this is cool. This was a launch era like DS game. So it's like, whoa, like this is crazy. That doesn't happen here. They just kind of go into the game. Another thing is they changed they changed their device. The DAS. It used to be an actual DS. It used to be an actual foldable Nintendo DS, the fat one. And now it's just a thing that looks like a fake Switch. So I was like, oh. So like there's little nitpicks here and there. The text, I will say, it's 1 for 1. They literally took the text from the original game and then put voice actors on it. So, and I will say I played it in English. The voice acting is pretty good. Like it's not gonna blow you away, you know. But you know, Ashley sounds exactly like I thought Ashley would sound like. She sounds like a 14-year-old teenager who's upset at the world.
Oh no! Oh no!
So there you go.
I guess there's a valid reason for that too.
there's a lot of valid reasons. She plays off a lot of like that kind of attitude. But there's reasons for it. Like she's kind of justified in her reasons.
And I guess you find out more about that as she tries to figure out more stuff about her parents. That leads to that. Gotcha.
So the voice acting's pretty all right. It's not bad. I think the art style looks incredible. It looks really good. Except for the textures. There's something weird. I don't know. You'll notice it, dude. The walls sometimes they just look so damn blurry, and I don't know if that's on purpose.
Like, can you give me another game for comparison's sake as far as blurry textures? And why is it Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
I was gonna say, you ever try to load up Borderlands 1 on 360?
Oh,
like remember when
I can't say I have.
And then it hasn't. I was like, and then it hasn't like shown up yet. That.
Oh no.
It hasn't loaded. Yeah, that. But like other than that, the game looks really good. They reorchestrated the whole music, so it's like a piano playing, and it doesn't have that DS audio anymore. Like it actually sounds really good. I think it's really great. Another thing to take note: the second game is locked. You cannot play the second game until you beat the first game, and that is on purpose because story-wise, this is one of those series where you need to play them back to back. You can't just like. You can't just start with the second game because then you would not understand anything going on.
Gotcha.
So it is not beginner friendly in that aspect.
All right. So you have to lock
And then,
it.
like I said earlier, there is beginner things like you can turn on hint assist. You can turn on like a navigation tool that tells you, hey, you should probably go in this direction.
Oh. Okay.
So, and those can be toggled on and off.
Got it.
Those doesn't have to be completely turned on. You can just turn them on whenever you want with a click of a button.
Mm-hmm.
One more note, Justin. I don't know why the hell the default speed for that camera is that low, but please go into the options and turn
then
up the camera speed.
I would do it anyway. But thank you for letting me know.
No, it's
Is it like
low? Like yeah,
and like full tilt into
now,
like.
I kind of understand why they did that. It's because they want to make sure you
scan
like you're looking.
You're
looking. Yeah.
So, like, look for that puzzle. Like, look at the environment. I gotcha.
Make sure you know what you're doing. Yeah, I understand why they did that. I don't need that, but yeah,
not me.
It is a really cool and interesting choice to remake. Again, I love that Switch is getting these like random like ports and remakes and reimaginings from their old catalog of games. Because who the hell ever thought Another Code was going to come back? I didn't. Like I thought that was a one and done deal when they're done.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you. Also, big opportunity here. If the original creator had a hand in this at Arc System Works, Nintendo, Hotel Dusk. If you had any balls, Nintendo,
you don't. But if you had any
balls, you would remake the Hotel Dusk games like this. Well, maybe not like this. Keep the visual novel aspect of that, but
oh, now I remember that.
Same developer as the original games.
Whoa.
Hotel Dusk Room 215 and its sequel that was again European and Japan only. We never got it. Please.
Same story? Sheesh. Or at least that same thing. Yeah, okay.
Same, not the same kind of gameplay, but
same scenario where it's like, it was developed here, we got that, we didn't get the sequel, and now it's just kind of a one and done type of thing. But there's a possibility.
Please, Nintendo. That if this exists, that game has a better shot than I thought. All right. I'm just saying. But also, I'm going to be real with you. I don't think this is going to sell as well as people might hope. This is why I wanted to support it. It's not even on the top 30 Switch list. And usually Nintendo first parties make that like day one, at least for like a week.
Did you make that into a Tanuki pickup for the week? Or will you?
I was going to do that tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't hear that from me.
So, yeah, because I'm going to include my box of Trace Memory as well. But yeah. But yeah. I like it. I like it so far. It's very good. I'm glad I went with that pickup instead of, anything else this week. But yes, I'm really happy about Another Code.
Very nice. I'm sorry, did you go through all of your 9 already?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was faster than I thought.
Yeah, I knew you thought it was going to be a longer segment, but I'm telling you, some of these games I pick up because they're the numbered limited.
They're just numbered limited runs, so
yeah,
it's about trying them out, and then you give us the feedback later.
Yeah, but some of them I do have some things to say, but yeah.
Gotcha.
Apparently my Persona 3 is almost ready to go.
Oh wait, I gotta check that now.
The game that I bundled my Persona 3 games with is ready, so that package is ready to go.
Gotcha.
I'm so goddamn pumped.
Just in time for reload, you know?
Yeah, I actually do have reload pre-registered on my Xbox ready to go. So hey, it is a Game Pass game. Listen,
Smart.
if I'm not gonna afford it day one, I got Game Pass, baby. That's all I gotta say.
User.
I do have the Grimoire version for 3, so I don't think that's ready.
Maybe not. I do have the standard versions, but I have the Switch and PS4 version, so
Gotcha.
they do have a slight box art difference. So that's
yeah.
slight. I think they placed the logo differently.
Oh, okay.
I believe the the box art for the PS4 version and the Xbox version, respectively, match the PSP box. Whereas the Switch version, they decided to move the logo a lower.
Oh.
So that's about it, though. Persona 4 has an alternate box art. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of those alt boxes for the PS4 version, and the Switch version is going to have the other one.
Fair enough.
But yeah, that's all my pickups. I think that's yeah. Smart.
Pickups. What pickups do I have?
No, he got Palworld. Hold on.
Yeah, you picked up Palworld, dog.
Technically, we all picked up Palworld.
Yeah.
What about Palworld? What do we want to know? What do we want to know?
No.
No, I think we got that.
It's time.
Oh, that's what you. That's what pickups do you got?
I gave you the biggest. Like he's supposed to be the Xbox expert.
I picked up this cookie I dropped from the ground. Is that what you want to know?
That's why you're here, Mark. We're here. It's time. It's the Xbox.
Well, normally, yes, but you forget. I'm not that big. I'm not that big on Hellblade.
Okay.
Oh, we'll get to that. But
I
Mark,
yes.
do you want to follow my lead and talk about them? Well, because I don't know what I have a least interesting to most interesting order. I wanted to talk about the games. There was 5 games at this developer direct. Unless you want to talk about it in order of presentation. If you want to go that route, we can do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. Yeah, you're right. No, I feel dumb. Let's do this. The Xbox Developer Direct 2024. It happened. It was here. I got to watch it live because I was able to get out of work early on Thursday, so I was able to come home, chill out, do what I got to do, and I just sat there and I watched it, and I almost lost my breath, but
almost passed out.
I almost passed out, but they opened the show with Avowed. Obsidian went first. And you know what? Man, Avowed just looks better and better every time they show it. To me, this is going to be like their Fallout New Vegas to Fallout 3. Like, this is going to be the Elder Scrolls. And Obsidian, obviously, is the one who developed New Vegas. So it really is like their take on the Elder Scrolls formula, but it looks so cool with a bigger emphasis on action. And I'm really looking forward to it. And it's also got that classic Obsidian story trees. So you can branch off into different things and your dialogue matters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Your choices matter.
Exactly. Everything you do in that game matters, and it's really cool. Also, it takes place in the Pillars of Eternity universe. So if you've never played those games, those are also by Obsidian. They're on Game Pass. Try it out. They kind of play like Baldur's Gate. So
whoa. All right.
They're classic, they're classic turn-based PC Western RPGs.
Okay, I think I understand.
They're the Pillars of Eternity 1 was the reason it got popularized again, because it had been so long since 1 had come out. So I definitely highly recommend those on Game Pass they're not necessary to play Avowed, but if you want to learn more about the world and stuff before, not a bad choice. And I have the physical copy for the first Pillars of Eternity. But yeah, Avowed looks sick, dude. The dual wielding looks crazy. The magic wand looks funny because I didn't think they were gonna give him a wand to do spells and stuff, but I was like, yo, what is he doing? Just flicking the wrist. And you can do like different combinations. Like homie's like flicking magic, but like slashing people. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy.
Oh, you're a wizard, Harry. I'm a what?
What? But we have a release window, fall 2024, baby.
Good.
So it's happening.
I want to like swing like spells at people and then shoot them too.
Yeah, dude. Maybe. Also, I love the art style. I know people are weird and are like, I don't know if I like this art style. Nah, no. Avowed looks pretty.
You know
like
him, he loves to rub himself all over it.
It looks like the perfect mix of cartoon with real life.
You don't want to disturb him.
Yes, Mark, exactly. You don't want to disturb that balance of that art style.
No, she's just talking about my dog.
I know.
Don't want to disturb Phil.
No, you're good.
Phil got that dog in him right now.
That dog, you know.
Can I bet that dog?
Like, Avowed looks great. Fall 2024. It is coming to Xbox Series X, S, PC, and Game Pass. So
nice.
Do you guys have anything to say about Avowed?
I can't.
Looks good.
Yeah, I can't wait to jump into that. I needed like that. I guess for me personally, I just need that like Skyrim itch.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I'm so tired of Elder Scrolls Skyrim that I'm just kind of like, this looks like a breath of fresh air. Like,
I guess that too, but I just missed out the mechanics and everything like that.
Yeah. Well, coming off of Starfield, I think that's my problem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Avowed, Obsidian did a good job. They went first. Next was Ninja Theory. They went next with Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. And they didn't actually show much. I don't think they needed to. Really, we know a lot about Hellblade 2 at this point. They just kind of talked about like, oh, how we're working again with like how psychosis works and how the character is going to be affected by that. And they only showed off very little of like the production scene. And the big thing about Hellblade 2 is we got a locked in confirmed release date, baby. We're playing in Hellblade 2 in May 21st, 2024. It's finally showing up this year. And you know, I really like and love like the first Hellblade. Let me talk about the thing that people are upset about, because this is the game I was hinting at earlier. It is a $50 game. They're only charging $50.
All right.
But it's digital only.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
It's digital.
Oh no. So Game Pass, right?
People are very upset because it is a digital only release when the first game has a physical copy.
I got that now.
But I should also remind people that the first game didn't initially get a physical copy. It only got that once the game became popular.
So we might see something. We might
see something eventually. They did also say that the $50 price tag is because the game is short. It is a game that is going to match the first game in length. So you're looking at about 8 hours.
That's not too bad. That's kind of like a pretty lengthy DLC story type of thing.
Well, for me, it's as long as it's good. If the game is good and those 8 hours are worth playing through, then yeah, dude, like I'm in. So, because another thing, if I'm not mistaken, how Hellblade works is if you die, you start from the game over.
No way, dude. Not the permadeath type of thing. No.
I'm pretty sure that's how that game works.
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah,
it's a pretty hardcore game. I'd have to replay because I didn't die once. So, I'm planning to replay it because I played it on an Xbox One VC, like the VCR like model, like the old ass one. Oh. So I'm planning to play it again because it has a Series X patch. So I'd like to play it in the higher frame rate.
It's coming.
Yeah. And my stance on the digital only thing is, yeah, it does kind of suck that it is digital only, you know, especially because it's literally one of the biggest Xbox releases this year. And it's a much anticipated sequel to a highly rated game. but it's also on Game Pass. Like, I'm not upset.
You're not
because
too
it's on
upset
Game
because
Pass.
yeah,
I don't have to pay the $50 because I'm not gonna pay for it at all. And that's kind of hard for me to be upset about.
Yeah,
when it's
especially
a Game Pass game.
And it's like it's now part of like the circle of Xbox like what's the word? I guess the first party now. So
Yeah, they're part of the Xbox Game Studios.
So it's perpetually on Game Pass.
Forever. Like, it's not gonna leave Game Pass too.
They would
like,
have to literally reinvent their entire subscription base to make you do anything.
Like, yeah, so for me it's like, oh damn. Like, I do eventually I would love a physical copy to have on my shelf because I think it's gonna be a great game. I don't doubt that game is gonna be bad. As that same sentiment can be said for Hi-Fi Rush. That game doesn't have a physical copy, it's digital only. So I kind of wish that one did too. Like, you know what I mean? Ghostwire Tokyo doesn't have a physical copy on Xbox. It has one on PlayStation, but it is a first party game now. So I kind of want it on Xbox. So, like I said, it sucks. Do I wish it had one? Of course.
Yeah.
But I never want a game to be digital only. But at the same time, why are you upset you have Game Pass if you're playing Xbox?
Yeah.
Stop.
It's honestly probably the direction that Xbox is really trying to push towards with their first party now. I mean, literally last year, Hi-Fi Rush still doesn't have a physical. It's like something you could just... I mean, you won't have any problems accessing the game. Sure. But it's like... Yeah. Those who want to maintain like a physical like library on the Xbox platform is starting to find it a little bit more difficult to do so, especially for the first party. Maybe not so much third party. But well, that's something that's to be seen later on in the future.
Yeah. Mark?
Hmm?
You were going to say something?
I was gonna say, I was just thinking, like, of all the games that I've seen that I'm probably gonna end up buying, it's probably gonna be Avowed. Indiana Jones does look good though. I'm not very familiar with the Indiana Jones franchise.
We can see
We'll
a little bit later about that. Yeah.
We'll get there.
But yeah, Avowed definitely.
Avowed is for sure. I think Hellblade is a good playthrough, especially if you're in Game Pass. Like, I have it preloaded. If that makes you feel any better. It is up for preload, and I was like, well, I am gonna play it, so I already have it on there. I'm ready. I'm ready for May 21st when that game releases. I'm going to definitely play through it. I'm really hyped for it. So, good show so far. The next segment
makes you pass out.
Came out of goddamn nowhere because they did the thing that they did last time where there was a fifth unexpected guest that they didn't announce. Last year, it was Tango Gameworks, and that's where they announced Hi-Fi Rush. This year, freaking Square Enix. Square Enix showed up, and I was like, what the hell? What is this? And it's Visions of Mana. So they started talking a lot more about Visions of Mana and showed off a lot more of the gameplay. For those who are unfamiliar, the Mana series is an action RPG series that's dated way back onto the Game Boy. The Game Boy was the first game that had that. That was Final Fantasy Adventures, also known as Adventures of Mana now, because it's not a Final Fantasy game. Stop it.
Not anymore.
Yeah, they used the name to sell it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But if you want to be very particular, it's Seiken Densetsu. But whatever. And over the years, the Mana series has grown. It's not as popular as some may think. You know, like, I wish there was more games in the series that people would latch onto. But Secret of Mana, right? The second game, Seiken Densetsu 2, that game is the most popular game in the series. I don't think you can go around and talk about a Super Nintendo without bringing up Secret of Mana. The game is huge. It really like showed off action RPGs can coexist with turn-based RPGs. And you know, the music, dude, when the opening credit starts off with composed by and it does nobody else, that music whips, homie. Like
they want you to know.
They want you to understand that music carries that game all the way through. The third game, Trials of Mana, never came to America until recently, in recent years, where we got Collection of Mana on Switch, and that has a translated version of the original, but it also got remade. Visions of Mana is the official fifth mainline game in the Mana series. It is Seiken Densetsu 5 in Japan. This is also the first time it is coming to Xbox. Xbox is actually going to get a Mana game, which is really cool and shows a lot of good support from Square Enix. Yeah, it's not Final Fantasy, I know, and they could be doing a little bit more with that. But Mana is a good step in the right direction, in my opinion, because that's a niche series. You were like, that's a. I'm surprised Xbox is even getting that. So Phil Spencer must be doing work in Japan right now to get this happening, especially to show it off at an Xbox Developer Direct. Like that's something you expect to see on like a State of Play, a Nintendo Direct. So that's really cool to see that game show up. As for the game, yeah, it looks really good. It definitely looks like they're taking what they did with the Trials of Mana remake and then bumping that up to 10. Like it's got that kind of gameplay style where it's 3D, it's a little like open-ended exploration. It's not open world, but it looks really good, dude. Visually, it looks stunning. I'm kind of even more hyped, and we got a confirmed like release window, summer 2024. So I was like, let's go, dude. The original creator apparently is also, or the original artist is also in on the game. I guess he's helping out with like animations and whatnot. So,
okay.
Yeah, that was a really cool segment to see. I was not expecting Visions of Mana to show up, but they did, and I'm hyped. It is not a Game Pass game, yo. I should clarify. Everything we saw today was Game Pass except for Visions of Mana.
Yeah, no, fair enough for now.
Should clarify that because I know that people might think it's going to be on there. It's not. It is coming to Xbox Series X, PS4, and PS5.
I will say give it some time, though, because other Square Enix games have shown up on Game Pass before. So just give it some time.
Yeah.
This is definitely a step in the right direction.
Maybe just because they weren't ready to confirm it, but like, hey, maybe they're working on trying to get it on Game Pass, which would be crazy. That'd be huge for them.
Unless, like,
I mean,
oh, sorry, go ahead. I just had a
no,
thought.
I mean, to be fair, like Sega and Atlas do it. They let their games get on Game Pass for the most part. There's certain exceptions, you know, like a Gaiden or like a Dragon Infinite Wealth is not going to be a Game Pass game. So, you know, there's the exceptions, but Persona, like, oh, I can't remember the new game for the life of me. What's it called? Metaphor D Refantasia?
I think so. I think that's on the nose.
I just like to call it Metaphor. I just like to call it Metaphor. Metaphor is going to be on there. Like, so you can get Japanese RPG games on there. Yeah. It can happen. It's just Square is a little bit harder to work with.
I think they've been doing a solid job, though, like, so far. I mean, I think just that literal visual handshake was, like, that tells you a lot. Yeah. That, like, there's going to be a lot more support.
Also, Final Fantasy 14's open beta is opening soon, so for the Xbox version. So, yeah, we're getting there. Slowly.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, Xbox fans, you're getting there. You're going to get the Japanese support. Slowly but surely.
Oh, there was another thing I wanted to mention about the Game Pass support, like with Square Enix. Yes, we've seen that before. What if we might see some other Mana games just show up like as Game Pass and not this one?
So I was thinking the same thing, right? I thought that's what they were gonna do. I thought that this like when they showed that segment, I was like, no shot in hell they were gonna just drop that game. Because I kind of predicted that we weren't gonna get a shadow drop like we did last year. There's no way. But I was like, what if Visions of Mana isn't the shadow drop? Maybe you get Trials of Mana today, like the remake. That would have been wild, but they didn't do it. So I'm thinking at least give Xbox Trials of Mana for now. That is the most recent Mana game, the remake. Let's and it's the most modern one. So let's just kind of throw that out there first and see what happens. But Mark, anything on Visions of Mana?
From Bandai, the only I didn't see Visions of Mana. That's from Bandai, isn't it?
No, it's Square.
No, it's Square.
Is it Square? Oh, my bad. My bad. Yeah, you're right. It's Square. I didn't see it I haven't rewatched the rest of the direct yet. But from what I did see, Visions of Mana at the initial reveal of it, it looks really good. I mean, I'd be down to try it out.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's a good game. All right. Then the next game, Oxide Studios was next with Aura Untold History. I'm gonna keep it $150 with you. This ain't my kind of game.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like took that time frame and just like moved it forward.
Look, I don't want to be an asshole about it. Let me just say that it's just not my kind of game. I'm not a PC player, so like strategy sims for me is whatever, I guess. Like I have to really get into it. Huh?
I mean, strategy sims like Stellaris or like Stellaris or like Civ, those are fun.
Yeah, and these are people who made Civ 5.
Okay.
So it looks good for it. I'm not saying it looks like a bad game. I'm saying it's just not for me. And I was just kind of like, oh, all right. And on top of that, it's a PC only release.
Oh, really?
So I don't.
But it's also on PC Game Pass, though.
It is. It is PC and PC Game Pass. That's the big thing there. So I might try it out. I mean, I don't know if my PC can handle it, but we'll try it out.
They'll have optimized settings, I'm sure.
You know, it can handle Doom 2016. I don't know. I've never attempted Eternal. I don't think it can do Eternal. But we'll see. Yeah, it doesn't look like a bad game though. I need to be very like upfront about that. It looks really interesting. For that genre. I just am not someone who's very well known. Like I'm not familiar with it. I'm not familiar with the genre. So I don't really want to just comment on it and be like, nope, bad, next. I feel like Gabe would have more to say since he's a big, like, Paradox fan?
Gabe's a huge Paradox fan.
That's so like City Skylines and stuff like that. So he might have more to say ever on that. I personally can't. So it was fine. Like, I don't want to just like say, oh man, I hated this.
I didn't like any of that. No, it's a whole different like meal. Yeah.
And then it was time. They finally
this is this is more of Phil's corner here.
This is up my speed. As soon as they circled the Machine Games, I was like, oh, it's time, baby. It's ready to go.
The time is now.
And as soon as they like went into the video and you just heard the notes, I was like, oh my God. Oh, they're using the movie music right now. And Machine Games, very well known for developing the modern Wolfenstein games. Actually, that's all they've developed. They're actually a newer studio. They've done Wolfenstein: The New Order, Wolfenstein: The Old Blood, Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus. They did most of Wolfenstein: Youngblood. That was with help by Arcane Austin. And they are the developers who helped with the Quake remasters. They did I think I showed you, we recorded a little bit of Quake gameplay the other day for like the Tanuki Media channel, but I think I showed a little bit of like, hey, look, Machine Games made these like expansion packs, these new ones, like new to the remasters. So they're pretty busy. And when they were talking about it, like before they initially showed the game, I was like, oh, okay, I can see why they were chosen to be the ones to do this. And then when you see the gameplay, then you're like, oh, I get it. Now I know why Machine Games is the one that got chosen for this. Holy shit, that game looks so good, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah, Phil was hype as can be about it.
I didn't think I was going to get that hype. I was like, oh yeah, Indiana Jones, I love that series. It's one of my favorite movie franchises. But I'm not going to sit here and go, oh man, can't wait. Dude, I was wrong. That game looks sick, dude. Dude, first of all, Harrison Ford's like likeness is kind of crazy. I didn't expect them to actually do that. I didn't think they were going to use his face model for that. I will confirm that apparently it's Troy Baker doing a Harrison Ford impersonation, which is, yeah. So when you hear the name Troy Baker and you listen to the voice, I'm like, yeah,
you can hear it.
It's close enough. Close enough. Harrison Ford's like voice isn't hard to do in Indiana Jones, but like they went all out on this game, dude. They actually like made sure that they put it on the like official like Indiana Jones timeline of where it takes place. like so that way they're accurate with like the movie sources. Like, let me slow down. Hold on.
Oh, okay, all right. Just slow burn.
It looks like an authentic Indiana Jones project. Like the music is there, the way Indy talks is there, the way he moves, the way he like the whip action is all there. The wit, like his actual like wits are there. It's Indiana Jones. Like it is to the T. Like it looks like a worthy piece of the franchise. And I just couldn't be happier about that. Big loop in this. It's first person. It is a first person shooter, and I knew it. I knew it because it's Machine Games on me. If you told me Machine Games is the one making this, it was gonna be first person. Of course it was. They're, killing Nazis is what they're known about. You know what I mean? Like, do it in Indiana Jones too. That's just how it is. But I'm also really happy to see that it wasn't just all gunplay. That's something I was a little worried about, because I was like, well, if Machine Games is the one doing this,
and that's like heavy on that. Like, exactly. Is Indiana Jones all of a sudden just a mass serial killer against a certain like group of people? Not in this case. No, they wanted to maintain a lot of things. They
maintained particular for the character. They did a lot to make sure that it is Indiana Jones. Like, yeah, there's guns, but it's not always available to you. There's limited ammo. Like, you have to make sure you're like cracking it off people. Indy only carries a revolver in the movie. He doesn't actually carry like higher guns.
No, he has a weapon wheel now.
Oh my god, I'd be so mad. No. He's like, you can obviously take an AK off an enemy or something, but you have to get it off of them. You can't just like, it's not something you can take with you. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Like, that makes sense. That's in the movies. I'm gonna just get the music out of the way because I can't get it out of my head. Dude,
I was thinking about it too.
Dude, I know that it is a new composer, but he does such a good job of getting like the John Williams like style down to a T. Because if you're not familiar, John Williams is the composer of the movie series as well as the Star Wars series. So, and it's just the Indiana Jones like main theme is like one of my favorite pieces of movie music of all time. It's like top 3 for sure. Honestly, like it's up there for me. And so like hearing the notes and hearing the motifs, I was like, dude, this is so crazy to look at right now. But the gameplay is where this looks like it shines, dude. The sneaking around is authentic to the movies. The traps, apparently there's optional puzzles that can activate traps if you're not careful. Like that's literally Indiana Jones, dude. Like that is literally the franchise. They did it. They somehow translated a people thought this was going to be Uncharted. It's not. And that's key part.
That's important. Yeah.
Is that it's going to be actually different. I understand that Uncharted is inspired by the original Indiana Jones movies. Definitely borrows a lot from those. But it's its own thing. And that's beautiful. And it is quickly, right now, that's my most anticipated Xbox release. And it is confirmed for this year. They didn't give a window, but they said 2024. They did confirm it for this year. It is a Series XS, PC, and Game Pass release. And it fills my heart. It fills up my heart very, like, God, dude, I can't breathe. I love that game, dude. I love that series so much. It means so much to me, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. And I do think the name of it's kind of dumb, but it's a pretty dumb name. But yeah, the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is the dumbest name I've heard in a long time. But I guess it's better than Dial of Destiny. Maybe. I'm thinking about the names of the series has had. Infernal Machine's pretty dumb too.
Infernal Machine.
Yeah, it's the 64 game.
Hey, I think that would be a great music group though.
Infernal Machines. But yeah, I'm excited. I really, really love the series. And to see it being authentically replicated and that they actually took time. I understand why it wasn't shown off yet. You know what I mean? They finally like. I'm glad that we're at this period where Xbox is like Nintendo. If they're gonna show it, that means it's coming soon. You can't just show the game and expect us to wait anymore, because I don't think people tolerate that much anymore nowadays. And I just don't know where you would release it though, because here's the thing. I'm actually kind of shocked that there's no game from them coming out within the next 3 months. Because last I checked, Phil Spencer promised at least one game every quarter. That's their goal. And with
all these other ones they just announced, they're
yeah,
not
like
anywhere touching.
Hellblade's a summer game. It's in May. And Avowed's the fall game. So where's indie? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I should probably say that Aura is a fall 2024 game, but that's PC. So where would you slot Indiana Jones? Because if you wanted this game to come out this year, I don't think you wait for November. That I feel like that's
like
a little too late.
It avoids like a lot of the nominations they could possibly get, unless it's like, what was the one game that came out last year that actually like showed up like only a few weeks and then immediately got rewards and like almost stole the Game Awards?
Alan Wake 2.
It was Alan Wake 2. So unless you got something like that.
Alan Wake 2 showed up 2 weeks before close off.
Yeah, and that's why you didn't hear a lot about it until like the Game Awards itself. Which, I mean, Indiana Jones might want to just do that.
Occasionally, yeah.
Possibly. But I'm not sure with Indiana Jones. I think it's my thoughts about it is that I think it seems to replicate like that franchise like very well. I'm not familiar with it, but I can just kind of tell based on like just how it feels, how they presented it. It just feels almost like so
movie marathon. I have them.
Oh boy. I mean, I'm kind of down with that, but we'll have to definitely schedule that one.
Oh yeah, we can't watch them all back to back. That'd be crazy. No,
that'd be wild.
Some of them were like 2.5 hours long. No, I can't do that. But
yeah,
like my favorite Indiana Jones movie is Raiders of the Lost Ark. So the first one.
So we'll definitely schedule a time for that. Otherwise, I'm like completely. I only know by name about the Indiana Jones series, but from what I understand of it, this does seem to be very. God, I don't have the words for me today. It seems very loyal to the entire franchise. Is what I mean to say. In this presentation, possibly the gameplay will adapt to that to a certain extent, which is why I look at that. I'm like, this seems a little. Like not my speed, but it does look very intriguing, so I would definitely give it a shot regardless. I think it's cool that they're gonna balance it. It's not just gonna be like gunplay and everything like that. It's gonna be a little bit of like exploration, discovery, puzzle solving. That's a very important thing. They mentioned before, it's first person. They got some third person stuff going on as far as like traversal stuff, and that's just how it's gonna be. I can't escape looking at that and think Uncharted levels of like cinematics as you like are doing a single like action and you get to like pan around to like certain things, and seems like kind of one of those like person like centric ones, which I mean that makes sense as far as the camera angle and everything like that, but.
I was gonna say that's my one little concern, I guess. Like
I get why they want to do that, because otherwise you won't really be able to identify with the character if it's just first person all the time.
Well, it's iconic, right? Like Indy's like silhouette with the hat and everything. It's iconic, and I don't think you could. It would be a weird choice to not see him in any shape or form. But I also think at the same time, well, he's in the cutscenes. You know what I mean? Like
that's true. I don't know.
Wolfenstein does that. The Wolfenstein games do that. BJ Blazkowicz is all first person, and then he's in cutscenes. They don't just like, it's not done in real time cutscenes. It's done with like cinematics. So it's like, I don't know.
I get you. I have a particular thing, like as someone who's not really that big on first person, like on most things, is that I don't really get to identify with the character. I guess as an RPG enthusiast, like if I'm just stuck with the first person perspective, it's me, not the character. And you just engage differently. where it's like, oh, I'm growing versus like, oh, I'm like really like working with this character and seeing them grow. So with Indiana Jones, it makes sense that it was kind of third person in that regard. But yeah, the iconic like hat and the whip, to see that, and his jacket, of course. It was important to be able to see that during like certain bits of the game. Cutscenes though make sense to see him like that. And I think maybe they didn't need to do this in that case, but I'm just kind of glad they did that. But it is kind of weird how they portray that so far.
I also want to bring up one more aspect of the game, but it kind of ties into their older games. Have you guys played the modern Wolfenstein games, like from New Order?
No.
One, highly recommend them. I do have all of them on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
They're great. They're also all on Game Pass, so just
that's true.
FYI, if you want to try them, that's where you do it. But there's one thing I want to know, because here's the thing: Machine Games can tell a really good story. The stories in the Wolfenstein here, like, it's so weird that an id Software property gets this grand story, because Doom is just, hey, you're a slayer, demons, shoot. There's
now
like this like underlying, yeah, like there's this underlying story, I guess, but like that doesn't, nobody gives a crap about that. You're there to shoot and you're there to kill demons. Like, that's it. Wolfenstein, on the other hand, they went all in on the story aspect. It's really cool. And I kind of really like, you know what? I haven't played them in a while. I kind of want to replay them again. They're not super long, but yeah. I'm itching to play them now that we're talking about it. But there's something I want to bring up with those games. In those games, even though, yeah, you're just shooting Nazis and you're just going around like crazy, there's a lot of stealth in that game. It's actually more of you don't have to go in guns blazing. So really, I think they're going to take a lot of that into consideration with Indiana Jones. You don't have to go in guns blazing and just start shooting and whipping everything you see. You can just sneak around, do like, whipping nays. You know what I mean? But the biggest story aspect I want to see, because Machine Games is very well known for this, and they kind of bring it up a little bit, but they only briefly talk about him, and they only showed him in the trailer at the beginning. The villain. Here's the thing: whenever you play the new Wolfenstein games, these are the most outlandish villains, and I'm talking like, oh, they are bad guys, and they are evil. Like, they are the worst things you can see on a video game. Like, I'm talking like, I don't want to spoil too much, but like Wolfenstein 1, where I forget her name, but she's like terrible. She's the worst person in the world. Obviously, she's a Nazi. That's why they show it off like that. But she, like, you have to like disguise yourself as
a Nazi,
as a Jewish,
right? Or
as a Jewish person.
Oh, okay.
To get into the compound, you have to disguise yourself as one, and so you're like walking with them all tied up and like handcuffed. And there's a part where she's like, there's a lady in front of you screaming, my baby, and the villain picks up the baby by his foot and just looks at it and goes, disgusting, vile thing, and just chucks the baby.
Oh no.
Not the baby.
It just says, get these people out of here, execute them. And I'm like, whoa.
Jeez, dude.
And it's that kind of like, it's the like, they are the stereotypical outlandish villains, and I love that, because it's like, yeah, these are bad guys, dude. You got to take these down. You got to take them down, homie. Like, they're terrible. Indiana Jones is known to have some of the most iconic villains. I mean, for Christ's sakes, the first one, I forgot his stupid name, but the Nazi with the glasses and the hat, where he's just walking around. He's Dr. Jones. I see we meet again in the mountains of Nepal. And just like,
who is this?
yeah, like you have such iconic villains. The girly Ma from Temple of Doom. Like, oh my god. So then you have the female villain from Last Crusade. Like, you have these outlandish villains, and I can't wait to see Machine Games take what they do from Wolfenstein and do that in this game. It's gonna be hype.
They talk about this character a little bit, just being kind of, a foil, they say, to Indiana.
Yeah.
Like, they are the exact same character, with like a level of drive towards like what they have to do, but they're different people, and one's good and one's bad.
Basically.
Yeah.
And that's all you need. I mean, basically, Wolfenstein comes down to you're the good guy resistance trying to save the world.
Mm.
That's it. Like, kill the bad guys, dude. Like, you know what to do.
Short, sweet, to the point.
Yep. And you get to see the bad guys do the most outlandish things. Yeah. It's really like, I can't wait to see that storytelling in Indiana Jones. I can't wait to see what they do with that. Like, I'm gonna be 100% with you guys. What they have shown at this developer direct, I don't need to see anything else. Just tell me when it comes out.
I actually want to point something out about what they showed off in Indiana Jones Great Circle. There's like the opening act where you're waking up at like a school that you're studying under, and there's a break-in, and so you go investigate as Indiana, and like you find the dude, and he stands up like super tall. And and I see his outfit, I'm like, Lord Sadler.
Yeah. So for clarification, Indiana Jones is a teacher at that school.
Oh, okay.
That's a running thing. He's actually a teacher. That's his normal day job. Is he's a teacher.
But he pursues his passion in archaeology.
But he's an archaeologist teacher and teaches archaeology at that school.
Mm.
However, when there's these big things, he actually gets like permits and stuff to go do this.
Oh, okay.
So like he's not there for the to get rich. He's not there to like, he's not that kind of character.
Mm.
His character is, I'm gonna quote the movie, but like it belongs in a museum. You know what I mean? Like, like he wants to make sure he wants to discover the secrets of the world. And that's what it is.
Mm.
He's not there for the fame or glory. He just wants to make sure that history is preserved. And he always has to run into these villains that want the opposite. They want the fame. They want the glory. They want the power that artifact holds.
Mm.
So, like, I can't wait to see what they do with quote unquote the Great Circle. Apparently, I have to look this up because typically in Indiana Jones, whatever they're referencing is a real life thing.
Mm.
The Last Crusade is based on the king, not King Arthur. It's the chalice. It's the freaking cup.
Sorry, I was trying.
I forget what it's called, but yeah, it's the chalice. Like it's the chalice from that era, the medieval era. But I forgot. I think it might be King Arthur's Round Table. But it's that the Lost Ark is a real thing. Well, real thing. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is talking about the crystal skulls and the aliens and whatnot. So.
Yeah, and now we have a circle.
The Great Circle is such a dumb name, dude. Oh my god,
they could have
made it something cool. Like,
they're talking about the crop circles.
Like, look at the movie names, man. Raiders of the Lost Ark, freaking Temple of Doom, The Last Crusade, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Maybe not Dial of Destiny, but like. But even then, that's talking about like the sundial, like the actual like I forgot what actual sundial it actually is. It's a real life thing. But yes.
I got you.
The Great Circle is so dumb, dude.
Indiana Jones and the Dueling Fates. Da-da, 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 da-da.
But even the game, even their original, like some of the older Indiana Jones games have really cool names. Maybe not Infernal Machine, but Fate of Atlantis. That's a cool name, like Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. That's a cool one.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Actually, if you have Xbox, you can play Emperor's Tomb. That is a backwards compatible game, and it's kind of a hidden gem on the original Xbox game.
Oh,
it's an original Xbox game. It's kind of a hidden gem. It's a little janky, but if you get used to it, it's actually a really good game. And honestly, use that game to prepare yourself for Indiana Jones. If you just want to play a game.
What's it called again?
Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb.
Got it.
It's janky. You got to get used to some of the mechanics and controls, but it's actually not bad. It's pretty good.
Well, I got the face on, actually. I was like, wait a minute. I'm comparing.
Yeah,
right now.
It's on Xbox, so you can just download it. It's not Game Pass, though, so But I got it for
Yeah.
free because they gave it away as a gold game. And 360 and Xbox original games, if you claim them, you own them.
Hell yeah.
So you don't actually it's not like PlayStation Plus where they just kind of take it away if you don't subscribe. If you unsubscribe, you own them. It's only Xbox One or higher where they do that. But yeah, that's a good way to do it because that's actually a big popular game on the original Xbox.
Interesting. All right.
So Indiana Jones does have a little bit of history on Xbox because of that. So yeah, I can't believe it, dude. That game looks so damn good. I can't stop thinking about it, dude. I have watched that trailer like 10 times. And every time, that is not only like my most anticipated Xbox game this year, that's one of my most anticipated games, period. And it's on Game Pass, so no one has an excuse to not play it. I'm just saying.
Unless they don't have Game Pass, then of course.
Mark, I know you said you're not really familiar with the franchise, but just judging it by the gameplay, what do you think?
Of Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
I think it looks good. If I was just going off of the gameplay, it looks very, very good.
Mm-hmm. Because I think that's important too, right? If you're not familiar with the series, you're there to play the game.
Right.
Yeah. Justin, you were gonna say something?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like obviously this is gonna be a first in Indiana Jones in a long time. So I don't know, especially since I have not had any experience, and I think Emperor's Tomb will be an interesting like take just to like take that experience like later on and then compare it to like this new game. But I'm looking at like the gameplay and I'm thinking that it's a little bit like of a slower pacing, but I think it's going to like scale up in like how difficult it can be, which I think is going to be a good balancing act because obviously there's definitely going to be a lot more elements than just simply like run and gun type of things. Like you can sneak around, as you said earlier. We've seen that too. There's going to be like an element of like puzzle solving and possibly a lot of escape artist type of stuff where you got the thing on your feet. So I'm just really curious as to like maybe more gameplay. If not, just let's just try it. Let's just try it and see like how it feels pace wise and gameplay wise. See if it all mends together. Yeah, I'm just really curious about like how it's gonna like look as a final product.
I also want to say that I'm glad that they showed the game targeting 60 frames because machine games always target 60 frames. I don't think any other games run lower than 60. So
they're a machine.
Basically, dude,
Infernal machine.
I want to know if this is using the id Tech engine. If it's using the id Tech engine, then damn, that game is gonna look good running good. Like, because if it's using the same id Tech engine that Doom Eternal's using, then damn. I mean, all the Wolfenstein games use id Tech, so I would assume this is using id Tech.
Yeah, probably. We'll probably see that. We're for machines. 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god. No, yeah, I highly recommend the Wolfenstein games. If you're curious about their previous work, those are literally all 10 out of 10s. Maybe not Youngblood. If you're down for Youngblood, Justin, I would like to try that too because it's the one I haven't played. But I heard it's better. It's better co-op than it is like a single player game because it's meant for that.
All right, we'll have to schedule that one too.
That's the last game though, so you're gonna have to get to it.
Oh no!
Story-wise.
Oh, no.
Story-wise, there's only 3 games to get through, and Old Blood is literally a 4-hour game. New Order and the New Colossus will probably take a little longer. And don't feel like bad if you have to lower the difficulty. They are Wolfenstein games, you know what I mean? Like they can get pretty tough. So, just saying. I don't shame anybody for playing on lower difficulties. If that's how you play games, that's how you play games.
Gotcha.
Like I don't scale myself to the highest difficulty. I play on what is considered normal, and I say good enough.
Actually, this is kind of an interesting segue because, well, I guess this is kind of news now, but I actually last night cleared through Super Mario Bros. Wonder. And throughout the course of that, I actually had online on, which actually I think kind of plays as a like kind of an easy engagement type of mode with other players indirectly. And I got into the special world stuff, and I was like, oh, actually, this first one, it's Worlds 1 special, like world stage.
Oh yeah.
If anyone's like played that, it can be kind of unforgiving, but it can be made a lot easier when you have the online standees like in place. The moment if you're trying to like complete it.
Mm-hmm.
And I made that decision to like, okay, for the future ones, let's just turn it off actually. Because I think it's one of those things where like it's, the mechanics, you can make it easier for yourself in some regard. But I decided to just kind of do that because I played through a good number of hours in this game. So I should probably just test myself for it. And I'm looking at other games going forward. Like you were saying, another code has.
How did that affect you on World 2 Special?
I actually turned it off, and I'm trying to remember which one that was because I cleared through
World 2 Special is the one that people consider one of the hardest levels in the game. It's
really
the rhythm one.
Because I actually cleared through like 4 of them now. So I cleared through the second one. It took a little bit, and it's
the one where they make you do wall jumps with one blocks, like one block, like
dude, that was struggle.
Block wall jumps.
I think that's gonna be a good episode. I was struggling. I was starting to pick it up. I was like, so there's an issue when it comes to like running and jumping. There's a certain like momentum you need to pick up in order to like wall jump appropriately. Otherwise, you might mess up once, and that's okay early on. In the latter end of it, it's not. I was messing around with just the regular like no badges affect your speed to like the mad jet run badge. That was actually really difficult, but if you can get past the early stuff, you can actually get through the latter half with just jet run, and you should be all right. I went with like just the hasting like badge, and that made it easier once I figured out the stuff. But to kind of finish my thought, I think if a guide's needed for like a new game for you, then that's totally fine too. And I was going to chain it up with another code recollection. I might just have like some of the hinter stuff on just in case. But yeah,
I think if you want an authentic experience, Justin, just have navigation on. I think that'll help you. Hint. I think hint like the puzzle hints are a little too much, maybe.
Like they're like way too much in that direction where it's like, oh, you're
like, oh, okay, now you're just kind of running through these puzzles. I think I would like you to challenge yourself with the puzzles, but getting to the puzzles is probably the hard part. Maybe
just getting to the puzzle.
Because losing yourself, like, okay, what's next? What am I supposed to do? Like, I have this item, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the item. Like, I think the navigation might be helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, because the game doesn't punish you. It's not gonna appear on your file and be like, this guy sucks. Look at this guy. Like, it's not like that at all. So. I just think if it's accessible and it helps you play the game, then by all means use it. If it's in the game, it's in the game, dog. You're like, I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
It doesn't make you any less of a gamer. Like, you just play games. Like, I get to talk to someone about another code. God damn it, and that's huge for me.
That's true. I think just to kind of go back to another code actually, because it is like a game that just came out recently. I think what will really help this game in this franchise series potentially make, I'm not sure if they're going to try to make other like another codes or maybe another code likes.
I don't think I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think you can make it. I don't know too much about the ending of the second game, but I know that it's a definitive ending.
It's a definitive ending, so there won't be another code featuring Ashley anymore. But maybe
you know what? I never thought about that. I never thought about using the name another code, but making it a different story.
I mean, I guess if Nintendo owns that, then they can just have another like group like hire another group to like work on another code, another series like of the same name. So
yeah, I never thought about that.
Yeah. So all I can say is that it really depends on like not just like the feedback and the sales, but also just kind of just talking about it, sharing your thoughts online. I think that really helps the game out like in the long run. So definitely, like, that's important. So
It's just a really niche series. If anything, this and Famicom Detective Club, play them.
ooh,
They're
yeah.
good. These are Nintendo history like you might be missing out on. Like this is a first party game. This is the same people who make Mario. Like like you would never know that. You would literally never know that. It's so cool to see these games like get a new chance, a new chance at life. And I'm
And a whole
really
new audience
really
too.
happy. Exactly. And because the game in this modern time makes sense now. Like people play a lot of visual novels nowadays.
It's
People are
true.
all over the Danganronpa games, like the Phoenix Wright games. Those are huge. So yeah. Back when this came out, it probably wasn't as popular, so I get it. But nah. Now we here.
Man, this makes me want
Oh.
to like do kind of review based type of videos that is meant to like garner like attention of people who are just overt or just like potentially like interested in a game.
Oh, I do want to bring up one more thing. It is part of the developer direct, but it's not. So, okay, well, so I didn't notice this until it was brought up to my attention, and I don't know what to think because I think I might I think I'm losing it more than Indiana Jones if this actually happens.
Wait, what's going on? What's going on?
So here's the thing. Machine Games is very, very well known to do these kind of things. They actually announced the Wolfenstein 2 at a random Bethesda E3 conference during a literal loading screen, like a loading screen. They teased it. There was a part that said like W2 and then it said like the new Colossus and it's like file like update because it was like part of like the little intro video.
Oh,
so it was just kind of hidden there. My boy, I didn't realize that in the video for Indiana Jones on the whiteboard they have a logo that says Quake 6. And I swear to God, if Machine Games is the one making the next Quake, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose. Also, first of all, there's no Quake 5. So if it considers Quake Champions 5, then okay, then now I guess 6 makes sense. But holy crap, dude, a Quake game with Machine Games as the writer would be crazy. I would literally lose it. It's there. You can literally see it. I had to freeze frame the picture, but I was like, shut the hell up, dude. Like, shut the hell up. If they're actually doing Quake, I would lose it. But just a quick, like, they could be, like Machine Games loves to tease their games like that. They've done it before. But supposedly they're working on a real third Wolfenstein game too. So I don't know.
They're busy. They're super busy. Ooh.
So,
I forgot about that. Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, what's the most recent Quake?
It's Quake Champions. If you're not counting the remasters, Quake Champions.
Yeah, I was gonna say, aside from the remasters,
Champions is that free to play where they took classes into consideration. So like every character has their own class and their own specials, but it's Quake 3 Arena. So like you get in there and it's like it's an arena based shooter, but you got to take your classes and specials into consideration because you can get different power ups, you can get different things. Yeah, it's actually really good. And if you have a Game Pass for PC, you get all the champions for free.
Interesting. Okay.
So
I think my stance on Quake is that like as far as like the story and settings, I'm not like really big on Quake, but like the gunplay is like crazy. I am all in for just that.
I'm gonna give you the quick synopsis of the story. Ready? There is no goddamn story.
It's just like, here's the setting, go. Because like it goes like way back. Well, yeah, it does go way back. So, and it's pretty simplistic, but like the gameplay is still the gameplay, and it's just like naturally evolved over the course of the games.
I think Quake 2 is the one that tells a like a story of
Just
some
tries
sort.
to, yeah.
Yeah, but to be real, it's just a generic, hey, aliens like started a war. We went to their planet. Oh no, surprise attack.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta stop them.
We gotta do something.
Yeah, and Quake 4 has a more of a story, but that game is also a direct sequel to 2.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, but that game is also not made by id, so that's developed by Raven Software, which is in the Call of Duty minds.
At the COD mines.
Ooh. It's rough. It's rough out there.
Rest in peace. Rest
You-
in peace. Well, you
you
know
think
what?
the new
Xbox is there now.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you think new ownership is like gonna relieve them of their duties and like let them do what they want to do?
I hope so.
Mhm.
I hope that, or at least like put Quake 4 as a backwards game because it's not. You know, and it is a 360 exclusive, so
Huh. Okay.
that'd be cool. That game has a really, really like messed up scene with the torturing in your eyes, but yeah. Anyways,
Ooh. All right.
it's pretty gruesome, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's iconic for that scene. Like it's like you're like straddled in and you can't do anything. It's first person, so you're seeing this.
I mean, to a certain point.
Well, yeah, and then it just like you're
It's
like, oh god.
yeah, it's pretty
It's pretty
wild.
gruesome. It's pretty wild, but yeah, it's cool.
Gotcha. Man, we're getting to like the lore of some stuff. But I think that's everything. Wait. Yeah, actually, we actually went through all of our big topics.
That was it.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything else. I will say, I played Golden Sun because it came out.
Oh yeah. Oh.
It was good, and it's just as good as I remember it. I will say.
Good. Glad to hear that. Good to hear that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's as good as. I mean, it is just the original GBA games, so they didn't change anything. It's just they ported it. That's it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's good. I'm really happy to see a lot of people talk about Golden Sun. They that game, people like are like, oh my god, I love this game, and then there's like that game is blowing up, and I'm like, okay. All I'm asking is, hopefully, it
What does
tells
this mean,
Nintendo,
though?
hey,
What does this mean?
yeah, I hope it tells Nintendo and Camelot, hey, the Mario sports games are cool, but we need Golden Sun. You know what I mean?
Listen, you need to venture on to other things.
We need to bring back Golden Sun. You know, a new either remake the DS game to have the series on there in full, or Golden Sun 4. You know what I mean?
Fair.
And they don't have to follow the same characters. They usually don't. So
I think it'd be pretty safe if they just remade like that one, and then depending on the success and also like the reception on the NSO, make the sequel.
Remake Dark Dawn, you're in there. And plus you save it from being a DS game. So like, you know.
Ah man, I gotta try it out myself.
Yeah, it's good. I will say it is an old school RPG, so you better learn how to talk to everybody. You better learn a little bit of grinding. You don't really need too much of it, but grind a little bit. You know,
Okay.
There's some chaos. There's some archaic things still there. You know, like your inventory, like changing your weapons, is like a little cumbersome because you got to go through all these menus just to get there, and you do that. And but it's pretty like it's for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. They don't guide you on where to go, but you know, the villagers are very like detailed. They're like, hey, if you go to this city in the southeast from here, like, you know what I mean? Like, go there. And you're like, oh, I should probably head that way. And then there you go.
Gotcha.
So, the puzzles take a little getting used to, because they require you to use your magic abilities. Your actual points that you use from battle, you got to use it outside too. So you can't just waste it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that's a little bit, but your certain characters have the same magic ability.
Oh.
So you can just use it from them instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can appreciate that.
But it's good. I haven't tried the second game out because I do know that Golden Sun 2, or I'm sorry, The Lost Age, is a direct sequel to the first game. Like, there's nothing gameplay changed. Like, they didn't change anything gameplay wise. You literally jump to the next game.
All right.
So I would say if you're going to do it, just start with Golden Sun 1. Don't even touch 2. Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah. It's also, you're going to be real, It's a kind of a slow start. Like, it doesn't really pick up until you get to the temple, and that's like at least an hour in. So, a little bit of a slow start, slow burn, but once you get there, it picks up.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Big NSO get for sure.
Ah, man, there's a lot. This is a pretty good like month so far now. Now that like we got like past the first week, and now like these like next couple weeks have been like pretty solid as far as the news as well as the drops. So yeah, it's a pretty strong start for 2024. So I just need to make sure that I clear through like the games released like this year, so I can actually like, really like invest in talking about them by the end of it.
Yep. So. And next week, by the next podcast next week, Tekken 8 will be out.
Oh, well, I mean, Anai's gone. He's off radar right now.
He ain't gonna talk. He ain't gonna come on here. One, because he's a baby. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. But
no, because he's just baby.
But no, because he won't do it. He just won't do it. And I would love for him to come on here and tell me how Tekken 8 is gonna be, because I'm not picking it up day one. So
that's unfortunate, but understandable. I'm also the same way.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Other than that, I think that's it. We did it. We got through everything.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and wrap it. I'm actually really hungry right now.
So I'm actually gonna go get dinner in a little bit. So.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and end here, guys. Appreciate everyone for tuning in to this episode of DangIT Prodcast. It's been episode 490. My name is Justin.
And I'm Philip.
And thanks for watching, everybody. #bye everyone.